Welcome to the Context Machine, episode 716. This is Bryan Chaffin.
And this is Jeff Gamet. And hey, that is the website that we have. I should really just follow the scripts. Anyhow, contextmachine.io. That's where you can go and find us on our website.
You can also use contextmachine.io to reach out to us, or you can find us on Threads at Context Machine Podcast or on YouTube at Context Machine Show. We would love it if you followed us over there. You could even watch the show.
Yeah, that's true. You can. Yeah.
Got a little hair. Speaking of videos, I got a little hair showing. Right. So this is WWDC week, right?
It is. And yeah. So before we hop into that, though, I have to say your hair's looking really nice.
I don't know. I got this little thing here. Anyway, yeah.
If you have hair.
That's true. I do. Yay me.
Be glad for it. Yeah. You.
Yeah. Yeah. We are of an age where that is an accomplishment.
It is. But yes, you're right. WWDC week. And we had the usual keynote on Monday. And yeah, I thought there's some interesting stuff.
Theoretically, Tim Cook's last one. Theoretically.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I think it's a pretty solid theory.
Yeah.
That this is his last one. And I think he did a nice job of wrapping up his tenure as keynote host.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, he was never the host that he was never the MC that Jobs was, but he definitely did his best to grow into the role.
Yeah, I think he did a great job. I think he did a great job of growing into the MC he needed to be for Apple, which is not the same MC that Steve Jobs needed to be.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. All right. So our first topic today is the hardware announcements that came during the keynote, which that doesn't mean what it usually means.
No. And and actually they didn't really make the announcement during the keynote, as I recall. We found out afterwards, or
they did.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. In my defense, memory like a goldfish.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, regardless, the big thing was Apple Intelligence and Siri AI and Siri, right? And the hardware announcements were what hardware you will need to be able to take advantage of all these features.
I found some web results. I can show them if you ask again.
Okay, Bryan. So the fact that your HomePod just decided to do that, it reminded me today. Earlier today, I decided that how I say S lady, so I don't trigger people's HomePods.
You're smarter than me. Yes.
Right. I'm changing that to S-bot. And the reason I'm doing that is because the S bot isn't necessarily male or female for any particular person. Also, calling it a lady, I think, plays into the whole patriarchy thing of women are subservient, and I'm not cool with that. And I'm surprised that calling it S lady hadn't hit me yet that it's actually kind of not cool. So
because we are products of the patriarchy.
We are, but at least we have an awareness and can grow. And it took me a while, but I realized, oh yeah, this is actually not cool. So as of now, I'm calling it S-bot.
I like that, and I will try to do the same thing. Although I didn't at all do that just now, so yay me. Anyway, regardless, we have the announcements. There were layered announcements in what Apple is doing. So the most capable Apple Intelligence features are coming with what Apple is calling Siri AI.
Mm-hmm.
And Siri AI basically needs an iPhone 15 Pro or later, or an iPhone
Mhm.
Air, and
Mhm.
Siri AI on device needs a 17 Pro or later, or an iPhone Air. And that was my iPad.
Yeah, and
that I just triggered.
yeah.
So
well
yay
done.
me.
At least your devices listen to you.
Right.
Yeah, it's a shockingly limited number of devices that support Siri AI at all, and stunningly short list of devices that support the, as Apple's calling it, the most powerful on-device models.
Right. And so we should also just mention that Siri AI will work with private cloud compute on an iPad Pro M1 or later, an iPad Air M1 and later, and an iPad Mini with the A17 Pro. Siri AI with the on-device models will work with iPad Pro M4 or later and iPad Air M4 or later. And on the Mac,
but iPad Pro M4 or later still requires the 12 gigs of RAM
and a terabyte of storage,
and which only comes with a terabyte of storage model.
Right. So this is a one time where I'm glad that I splurged and got a terabyte on my M4.
Yeah, that actually paid off for you this time.
Yeah, because I think I've got like 256 megs or gigs used, but anyway, whatever. That's not the point. On the Mac, Siri AI was supported on the MacBook Neo, the brand new MacBook Neo, MacBook Air with an M1 or later, MacBook Pro with an M1 or later, iMac with M1 or later, a Mac Mini M1 or later, Mac Studio 2022 or later. That would include mine, and a Mac Pro with Apple. So the Mac, the Mac Pro with Apple Silicon. So the M1 or later, which is 2023. To use on-device models, you're going to have a much more exclusive list. You've got the MacBook Air 2024 later, which is an M3, right?
Yep.
Or later.
Yep. You have to jump up to the M3 and once again, a minimum of 12 gigs of RAM.
And so that would include a MacBook Pro, the 2023 iMac, the 2024 Mac Mini, or the 2025 Mac Studio, because the Mac Studio didn't get an upgrade until 2025.
Yeah. So that means your Mac Studio doesn't qualify for
I've got the M1 Ultra.
Yeah.
So mine won't work with the on-device models. It will work with private cloud compute. And whether or not that matters to you is going to be an individual decision for everyone.
Yeah, I think the place where people will be most likely to see a difference is in performance overall with Apple Intelligence, meaning the devices that support it, but it has to use the private cloud compute. You're going to have a little bit of latency because whatever it is that you're requesting has to go off device, so it has to upload, and then whatever the response is has to download.
Right. So obviously on device is both more secure, more private, and faster.
Yeah.
And again, it's a very limited list that can do that. And the question is, why? I know that there are some people that are unhappy about this, and basically people are accusing Apple of not backward supporting their devices. I suspect that Apple has no choice in this. I suspect that this is simply especially for the on-device stuff, that the processing needs are so significant for running on-device models that Apple just simply didn't have a choice.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're right, and it does sting because I have a 2020 MacBook Pro. That's Apple Silicon. Or excuse me, 2023 MacBook Pro, Apple Silicon. But it doesn't have the full compatibility because it's an M2, not an M3.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And we should add that all the 27 OS updates, iPad OS 27, iOS 27, and Mac OS 27, all those will work with everything that work with the 26 models, the 26 OSs. Mm-hmm. And it's the Apple Intelligence and Siri AI that won't work.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So to say in the reverse order of that, if you can run OS 26 on your device today, you can run it on your device.
You can run 27.
You can run 27. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exceptions would be like if you have an Apple Watch, Series 8, which supports 26, does not support 27.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Right. And so what do you have anything that will support these on-device models?
No. I have
nothing.
I have nothing that supports the full on-device model. The closest I come is my 2023 MacBook Pro, but again, M2, not an M3. So if I went to have the full experience, I'm going to have to pick a device and replace it. Because, yeah. Anyhow, I appreciate why a lot of people are upset because Apple has been touting their M series as great for AI, and now that it's really here, or is going to really be here, turns out a lot of us that have those M series devices don't get to play the game.
That's true. But again, so I'm not making an excuse for Apple here. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be upset or, it's not that. I just feel like Apple probably had no choice. The demands of running a model on device are significant. And note that I don't think anyone else is doing this on device stuff.
To the best of my knowledge, that is correct. And okay, now that I think about it, Bryan, running parts of this on device, this is not the first time we've seen limitations. When Apple has been touting on device AI features over the past couple of years, they've had cutoff points where it's been like, well, if you have an iPhone 16, you can do it. But if you have an iPhone 15, you can't, except for the Pro models. So actually, now that I say that, I realize that the on-device support that we were seeing previously is pretty much in line with what we're seeing for the requirements now. It's just it's on a different scale what you can do on device.
Right. So I do. So my iPad will support it. My Mac won't. My iPhone won't. My MacBook Pro won't. I've got an M2 MacBook Pro too.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that your Mac Studio, which is Apple's flagship Pro computer, does not support it.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It kind of
you would.
But I can test it, and that's fine.
Yeah. So there's that. And I do have it installed on my 6th gen iPad mini already.
You have iPad OS 27.
Thank you. I have iPad OS 27 Dev 1 installed on my iPad mini 6th gen. Mm. And of course, that means that there's all of the Apple AI things that I won't be able to do on device. But what I can say is that even so I installed it Monday afternoon. It is now Wednesday. So over 24 hours playing with it is all. The performance of the device overall is shockingly better in Dev Beta 1 than it was when I was running iPadOS 26 on this device.
I wonder if that's because they haven't included some stuff.
Well, you'd think maybe, but also when you're running a dev beta like this, especially this early on, there's debug code running all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And apps launching faster, screen redraws being much smoother, much more fluid. I mean, it was noticeable right away. Places where, like in the system settings app, I would launch that, and the app would open, and then I'd have to wait before it would presumably load all of the preference panes.
Mm.
I'm assuming that's how it's working on the iPad. And then those would pop up. And then it was just kind of slow for them to, for me to scroll through. But then eventually it'd be like, oh, okay, now I'll just let you do everything in real time. And now it's just like, boom, it launches and it works. I
see. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we should move on. We've got, so you and I, both touched separately on the idea that Apple AI, the announcements of what's coming in iOS 27, that Apple AI is doing some real stuff for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when I'm looking at that, what I'm seeing is that Apple is choosing to use these AI tools not to be in our face saying, hey, AI, let AI do it. Look, we've got AI. It's AI. But instead to, for the most part, enhance what we're doing, improve our productivity, and help us use our devices more efficiently and more effectively than we otherwise would be able to.
Yeah, it's keeping track of our data across apps is super useful.
Oh, amazingly so. It's in some ways reminiscent of the concept of data soup, which is what Apple was trying to do, or it's what they called what they were doing with the message pad with Newton OS.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, you need information. You can just search across this soup of all your data. And it didn't work as well as we all would have liked, but that was a long time ago. But I think what's happening here, this is actually really useful and will be very functional. And I love the idea of being able to search across everything.
Yep.
And to be able to do it in a way where I can type what it is I'm looking for, and it doesn't have to be verbatim, and it can then figure that out and give me the most likely list of results.
Yeah, that is, I am looking forward to that. I am generally speaking down on using generative AI to write books, to make videos, to make images. I'm not for that. I am very for AI taking care of things for me.
I agree. That's what I want AI to do. I mean, we've all seen the joke about, the idea was AI was going to do the dishes and the laundry so we could go be creative, not AI was going to be creative so we could go and do the dishes and the laundry. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to be creative. I don't want to have to do the mundane things.
Yeah, for real. And I feel like this is so you already alluded to this at the top of the show where you said that Apple has been no, I guess this is what you wrote in your piece, your blog post today.
I guess you just committed me to including a link in our show notes.
Yes, please do. You said, tell us what you said at the top.
At the very top, my introduction.
Yeah.
All right. How about if I just read it, because it'll be faster. And I quote from me: Apple has taken a lot of well-deserved flack over the past couple of years for its AI strategy after the unveiling of OS 27 at this week's WWDC keynote event. However, it's looking like the company is in a much better position to snatch victory from the burning embers of angry Apple is failing pundits.
Right. And actually give us the next paragraph too.
All right. Look at this, everyone. It's like I'm your own personal audiobook version of my article. WWDC 2 years ago turned into an ugly mess for Apple after it failed to deliver on promised big AI features. Even worse, those features appeared to be nothing more than vaporware that ultimately broke customer trust and triggered a lawsuit from angry customers. Prior to WWDC 24, when Apple announced a feature, you could generally assume it was coming, even if it was delayed. After that, we shifted from when will the feature ship to is the feature even real? Apple threw away decades of goodwill in a few minutes with a completely staged demo.
Right. And so I'm guessing that what Apple announced this week, 2 days ago, as of this recording, was probably put into motion in the aftermath of that WWDC 2024.
I am certain you are right.
They have been essentially systematically introducing ways of AI managing our data for us, taking care of the admin work that that none of the direct model makers seem to be doing. No one, everyone else is focusing on giving us AIs that can write things for us, that can, and Apple certainly announced that they didn't show us anything, but they announced that there will be, I don't think they call them writing tools, but maybe they actually did use the phrase writing tools, but and they certainly announced enhancements to Playground and the new image styles that Playground will be able to produce. So Apple is participating in that game, but they didn't dwell on that. And I feel like they are really focused on offering us AI that can take care of things for us, not become our creative forces.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is Apple's strategy, and I'm here for it because I want these tools to work for me and make my computing experience easier, more fluid, and more productive.
Right. I saw something I don't remember where several days ago, but it basically said that the AI will. I can't remember enough of what it said, but basically it was saying the AI is not going to really amount to much, but it will absolutely transform coding, and I agree with that. AI is in the process of absolutely transforming coding right now, but Apple is giving us these tools that are going to help us actually manage our digital lives, and I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I'm very much looking forward to AI as that kind of tool.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to our few of our favorite things from WWDC.
Oh yeah. I would love to hear what stood out for you. Tell me a favorite thing.
My favorite stuff was probably relatively minor. I'm sure they were not minor on the doing side at Apple, but on the presentation side, on the grand scheme of things side, they're relatively minor. But all the interface tweaks, especially on Mac OS, all the changes to Liquid Glass, the greater controls they're giving us, the increased complexity of the liquid glass that they showed us with there's a new layer involved. I was really enjoying everything they were showing us in terms of these interface tweaks.
I was pleased with that as well. I feel like what Apple gave us last year was more of an eye candy upgrade.
I like Liquid Glass. I like Liquid Glass the way I have it implemented.
Okay. And that's the thing, the way you have it implemented. There are a lot of problems with Liquid Glass as far as visibility, especially if you have vision impairments. And there were a lot of issues with contrast.
I don't have any vision impairment, so yeah. Why do I care?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
I'm kidding.
But the changes they made this year and giving us much more control over how much Liquid Glass you have, if you will, I think that's really great, and it has nothing to do with weird changes and people being like, oh, I don't like that. That's not what I want. It's different. This is about, there are better ways for people to be able to control their environment for the way they need to be able to see and interact. And that's what we're getting this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I very much appreciated it. What was your favorite stuff?
Actually, one of my favorite things goes back to what you're saying about coding being the future for AI, and it ties into shortcuts, because automation on the Mac, I feel, has been really not by design. It's just the way it's worked out. It's not accessible to most people because it's just way too complicated, and that barrier to entry. You need to know the stuff so you can learn what you need to know.
Yep.
And that's a difficult place to start. But now being able to use the AI features and tell shortcuts, this is what I want to do, and then it builds that for you. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to make automation much more accessible to a much broader audience than it has been before. I expect that it's not going to let us create incredibly sophisticated shortcuts. Like, I've seen people that use shortcuts that have like 60, 70 steps in them. And I don't expect it'll do that, at least not at launch. But the ability to be able to say something like, I want to take a document that I write in Pages, attach it to an email in Mail, and then have the message content be a summary of what is in the document, and then also make the subject line the document file name and today's date.
Right.
And then, and that's something that's useful. Like, say you have a report that you send off weekly or monthly. That's something that should be automated.
Yeah.
So you can write your document, run your shortcut, and then it does everything else for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Is that our favorite? Is that our favorite stuff?
I'm going to throw accessibility into the mix also.
Okay, yeah.
Just in general.
Okay.
I think Apple has done a lot with the accessibility features. I mean, the Liquid Glass stuff is part of that, but having better audio commands and responses, I think that's a big thing. Tying into that, how about system-wide dictation? I mean, yes, we've been able to do it in the voice memo app, but being able to do that system wide, I mean, I have to use Mac Whisper on my Mac if I want to dictate a piece that I'm writing. And then I copy that and paste it into BB Edit and make my edits and stuff there. Why can't I just dictate that directly into BB Edit?
Right.
Well, that's a thing.
Well, but BB Edit will have to tie into that, right?
No, that's a system level thing. So I'm pretty sure all apps that allow text input get that for free.
Cool.
I mean, if they do have to tie into it, well, the developers have access to that information now because Apple has spent the past few days doing presentations for developers as part of WWDC to tell them about all the APIs and whatever other hooks come into play.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think we've got a show.
I think we do.
And that's this week's Context Machine. If you have anything to add, comment on, or question, you can. Oh, let's see. You can write us at podcast@contextmachine.io. Or you can write us. Yay! Or, right. So, yeah, our bass is by Boom. I don't have the script.
Oh, our bass is by Boom.
Yeah, recorded just for
by
us.
Dr. Boom, just for
Dr.
us.
Boom. Yes.
And on YouTube, we are at Context Machine Show.
Yep. Yes, definitely check us out there. Give us a follow or subscribe. Give us a review. Give us a review on our podcast.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, do that review thing.
You're doing great, Bryan.
Yeah, we remain top men.
Top.